So you guys stop hearing the sound. All right, let's tune in. Let's see this video.
All right. Well, it's Friday. It's the announcement time. This is the third take of this video. I've been absolutely dreading doing this. I don't even know how to do it. I don't even know what I'm gonna say right now. Been trying to do anything and everything to avoid making this video, but pretty much, guys, my time has come to an end, at least in the CDL, competitive COD. I'm done. Yeah, it's been truly an incredible, great run.
Bro, it sounded like you had terminal cancer,
right?
the way you phrased that.
Heard this once in a crappy movie by a side character, but it was that time always wins. And right now, guys, 29, you know, the competition, my colleagues, they're around 18 to 22. And it's honestly a huge generational gap that I found myself struggling to deal with every single day. Even when we didn't have practice, I can honestly say that all the friends that I have from this space, from the scene, no longer play. There's a reason for that. I don't know. In the last couple of years, I would say for the last 5 years, right? It's been an actual struggle of mine, a difficulty to just be able to communicate simple things. And ultimately, I think, you know, that's somewhat of my downfall. And it's also just something that I don't want to have to deal with anymore.
That's an interesting admission from him of, hey, part of why I'm probably doing this is because my team options are limited. And my team options are limited because, you know, Crim's got an old school thought about how he wants to motivate people, and shit's not always going to work. So kind of interesting that he's kind of come around to sort of, I think he kind of went there a little bit on the flank too when we've had him on, but interesting that he's put it in this video as well.
More. I can honestly say in this roster change period, I genuinely did not even try. I was at the point where I was just like, you know, if I get an offer, I might play, but if I don't, then thank God, you know. Didn't really reach out to anyone. Didn't really, in terms of the pro players, I didn't go to anyone asking for a spot.
I'm surprised by that a bit. But it sounds like someone who is like kind of 1 foot out the door. Again, for someone like Crim, bro, what's the point about just trying to be in the league with a spot in Vegas? Like, it doesn't do anything for him at this point. He's not going to enjoy being in that team environment and being on a mid-pack to bottom-end team. So I think he was just waiting for some big offer that never came. But for Crim, like, and I'm sure I'll get into, I'm sure there's a content path now ahead.
My agent went to the orgs to figure out if there's any openings or space available for me. But I myself was almost like a wounded animal on the side of the road, you know? Just, I might be able to be saved, but it kind of hurts so much that it's just like put me out of my misery. And that's honestly what my mentality was during this roster change period. I knew in the back of my head that not competing would be the better choice, but it was also going to be, and not just for right now, but also for the future, mainly for the future. But I knew it was going to be the way harder one. It was going to be the choice that was going to be extremely hard to make. Considering the fact that I've been competing, I've been technically a pro player since I was the age of 13. You know? Let's run the numbers on that, guys. That's 16 years. The last 16 years of my life, this is all I've ever known.
On stream, and you're just gonna rake it, man.
And yeah, now it's time to move on, because this is just not healthy. It's not worth it. I mean, shit. In the middle of the season, I looked at the league and I noticed that not only was I the oldest player, or second oldest when Clay was playing, but I started looking at the coaches too. And I realized I was older than most coaches. Then I looked at the casters. I realized besides, Maven, because he's 600 years old, that I was older than most casters too.
RIP Maven, bro.
And then this next part is something that is like not...
I'm eating Bebibop. It's a Bebibop bowl with chicken and steak and a bunch of veggies and some noodles. Shout out Mud AC. Picked up the bowl for me, so respect that. Yeah, Tom's retired. I mean, listen. Well, I'll play this video out and we can talk about it.
Talked about enough. And obviously there's like levels to it, but I would say the level of sacrifice it takes to be a pro player is not discussed enough, primarily because when you discuss it, people always say, shut the fuck up, you play video games for a living, quit bitching, right? The level of sacrifice, especially for someone that's my age, that's past their prime, like, in order for me to be at the top of the league or a really good player, right, I have to put in more time, more effort than probably twice as much as someone who's around 18, 19. And
I don't know why the noise gate's not working.
when you do that, right?
L streamer, bro.
If I were to go put in twice the amount of hours as a 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, right? That is you can do that, right? But at what cost? So, I mean, the cost of this, right, is your physical health, your personal life, right? I'm 29, right? You're the mental aspect. So I've been putting my childhood dream, I've been putting, whatever fucking team I'm on that's just gonna end up dropping you or me or whatever, right? You're just swapping someone out. I've been dedicating so much time to that, your significant other, your responsibilities at home and all that stuff gets neglected. And I'm just sitting here, right, after 16 years, I'm just sitting here like, I did all that for a number to put in my fucking bio on an internet page. And yeah, while like deep down, I hope I'll always know that I was the best Call of Duty player that's ever lived, that's ever competed. But looking at it right now, I'm sitting there like, man, why the fuck did I do that? Because
this is an admission of someone who I think, and again, I'm of the belief that you can play COD until you're in the 30s, and probably guys like Clay and Crim can compete. But in order to be at like the level that they've been at, where they win chips, like you have to dedicate your whole life for literally 6 to 8 months to it. And to his point, I don't think Matt. I think he's just kind of did this in one take, Matt. I don't think if you ask him now that he's going to say that. I just think this is his way of saying like, yo, like it's just the grind is really tough. When he said that he wasn't trying to get team offers, to me is an admission of, hey, like I'm not 100% like, my mind's like I want to 100% compete and be that guy. Like he definitely is thinking about other shit too.
It's not fair to her. It's not fair to us. You know, it's not fair to my body. I mean, dude, I got an ear problem, a lip problem. My personal life, right? Senior year of high school, sold my phone to pay for a plane ticket to go to a gaming event. You know, I went to college, but I was a loner. Did all this stuff, you know, just, I mean, at this point, you know, obviously I'm in a good spot with, you know, everything that I own, my relationship and stuff. But I noticed that in order for me to continue to compete, everything around me would just be on a downwards trend. Everything would start going downhill. Everything would start just getting worse and worse and worse. And I think I might already be in the middle of that slope. So, how I'm feeling? Well, I would say that this is one of the times in my life where I'm probably most motivated, because I'm not working for someone else right now. I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not under the threat of, you know, a fine or a do this or a, you know, come into work. This is the times when you got to be here. You know, all this stuff, right? I've now put myself in a spot where I can fully commit to myself. I can fully commit to the exact things that I want to do. You know, not just for the next step, but for the next mile or so in my life. And the next step, guys, by the way, is content. I'm gonna move into content. Gonna be competing in Warzone 2. I'm gonna be streaming everything that I can, doing YouTube every day in every way possible. And I'm not just talking Warzone 2. I'm talking car stuff, you know, the simulation and track racing stuff.
I don't know if that's necessarily what he's saying, Sue. I think we'll see sort of at the end of this video if he addresses it. Let's keep watching and we'll kind of circle back on that.
Maybe go to some F1 races here and there. Also want to do gun stuff, firearm related stuff. I'm excited. But the final note is that I'm also scared. I'm scared shitless, guys. Because it's been, you know, like I said, 16 years. It's the only thing I've ever truly known. To everyone who has supported me throughout the years, and I mean support by cheering me on, by booing me, by saying nothing. Hey, you know what? By supporting me, I mean, thank you for being there. Yeah, but right now, planning on dropping this video Friday. I will be live on Friday. Might be on a plane flying back from the Modern Warfare 2 announcement event. But I will be live on Friday after this video. So be sure to tune in at twitch.tv/Crimsix.
Let me throw this out and let's talk about this real quick.